One fine night, and the next fine night, and last fine night was Catherine the Slop, in her native chamber cushy with dreamings of simmering my veil astore, was basking to her pillow sleep, how she thought a clog came to the downstairs door, at that hour to pierce the yea and down, and she went, shwit be shwat, to see was it Shweeps, Mingles, or Shoehorn the Post, with a tillycramp for himself and co esquire, or them far horsemen on their apocalypse, Norrie, Thousby, Yeats, and Wilkes, and gallery bit of the Sains and Bevel. There was a crick up the staircase, and when she was the cankle to see Galahiri, down and she went on her knees, to bless her that were knocking together like big juggles, as if it were the rack of the Harspurus, or old Congander O'Toole of the mountains, or his Googo goose she seeing sliving off over the sawdust lobby, out of the back room, wanter that was ever one's in Turin's, in his honeymoon trim, holding up his finger halves, with the clucky in his fist ball, Tucker of Davies, Tucker of Iverley, for her to wished you so belly, and the whites of his pious eye bulbs, swearing her to silence and quit. After much persuasion, the ghoul consented to guide his guest inside the great wall of the Gug's kingdom. There was one chance that Carter might be able to steal through that twilight realm of circular stone towers, at an hour when the giants would all be gorged and snoring indoors, and reach the central tower with the sign of Koth upon it, which has the stairs leading up to that stone trap door in the enchanted wood. Pickman even consented to lend 3 ghouls to help with the tombstone lever in raising the stone door, for of ghouls the Gugs are somewhat afraid, and they often flee from their own colossal graveyards when they see feasting there. It may not, or maybe, no concern of the Guinnesses, but that fright of his light in tribal buttons hides aback in the doom of the balk of the deaf, but that the height of this life from a bride's eyes stumpunk is when a man that means a mountain, barring his distance, wades a limp that plays the lazy winning. She likes yet that pride that bogs the party, begs the glory of a wake, while the scheme is like your rumba round me garden. Alla Theses, with perhaps the prop of a prompt to them, was now or never in Etheria deserta, as in grander suburbia, with fin fan faunas rurik or cosmopolite, for much or moment in dispute. For this place could be no ordinary city. It must have formed the primary nucleus and centre of some archaic and unbelievable chapter of Earth's history, whose outward ramifications, recalled only dimly in the most obscure and distorted myth, had vanished utterly amidst the chaos of terrene convulsions, long before any human race we know had shambled out of apedom. Here sprawled a Paleogroan megalopolis, compared with which the fabled Atlantis of and Lemuria, Comorium, and Ulzadorum, and Olatho in the land of Lomar are recent things of today, not even of yesterday. A megalopolis ranking with such whispered pre-human blasphemies as Valusha, Ulia, Ib, in the land of Nar, and the nameless city of Arabia and Deserta. In the name of Anna, the Almazable, the everlasting, the bringer of pluralities, hallowed be her eve, her sing-time sung, her will be run, unhemmed as it is uneven, her untitled manifesta, memorializing the most highest, has gone by many names and discharted times. Thus we hear of the Augustus most. For all sea bestious salvation, rockabill booby in the wave's trough. Here's to the relics of all decencies. Original title, Al-Hazib. Hazib being the word used by Arabs to designate the nocturnal sound made by insects, supposed to be the howling of demons. Composed by Abdul al-Hazvid, the mad poet of Sana'a in Yemen, who is said to have flourished during the period of the Umayyad caliphs, circa 700 AD. He visited the ruins of Babylon and the subterranean secrets of Memphis, and spent 10 years alone in the great southern desert of Arabia. The Ruba el-Khaliyai, or empty space of the ancients, and Dana or crimson desert of the modern Arabs, which is held to be inhabited by a protective evil spirit and monsters of death. Of this desert, many strange and unbelievable marvels are told by those who pretend to have penetrated. In the last years of Al-Hazred's death, dwelt in Damascus, where the Necronomicon Al-Azif was written, and of his final death or disappearance, 738 AD, many terrible and conflicting things are told. He is said by Ibn Khaldun, 12th century biographer, to have been seized by an invisible monster in broad daylight and devoured horribly before a large number of fright-frozen witnesses. Of his madness many things are told. He claimed to have seen the fabulous Tyrum, or City of Pillars, and to have found beneath the ruins of a certain nameless desert town the shocking annals and secrets of a race older than mankind. He was only an indifferent Muslim, worshipping unknown entities, whom he called Yog Sothoth and Cthulhu.